Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this interview with Tony Nadal as much as I did conducting it. Tony and I spoke about a wide range of things, including his nephew's current practices, his imminent return to the tour. We also spoke about some things from the recent past, such as the 2022 season, what went right and what went wrong. We also talked about the distant past and some of those missed opportunities, and in particular, some of the knee issues that hindered Rafa in 2009. We also spoke about his current collaboration with Felix Auger-Aliassime and the exact arrangement that the pair have. As I say, I hope you really enjoyed this video, but please, so we can continue doing interviews like this at Talking Tennis, please hit the like button, but even more, just hit that subscribe button. It's just below. Just click on that and we can continue to bring you excellent content like this. Enjoy.
I hope that he can play there. I know that he want to play, but no, after Wimbledon, everything goes wrong. In Roland Garros 2009, of course, I am sure that he won. He will he won this tournament when he has no problems in his knee. Because he came here and he asked me to collaborate with him. The first thing that I said was,
Ready. Play.
Hi Tony, thank you for joining us on Talking Tennis today. First of all, how are you?
I am always good. At least this is what I say always when someone asks me how I am.
Okay, good.
How I am. I am good. Here, good weather, doing what I like.
At home.
Coaching at home, coaching players. Then
Good. Let's begin with Rafa, if you don't mind. How are the practices going this week, for example, with Rafa?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I am not his coach. And
Okay.
Normally I don't watch not too much. I seen last week
Okay.
one practice a little, but at the moment I don't know how he is, but I think he good when I talk with his coach.
He's feeling okay?
Yes, he's feeling okay, but it's not easy to know exactly because you have to know when you compete, because it's not the same when you practice that when you compete. But really, I cannot say exactly how he is.
Do you have any idea about Monte Carlo or what the
No.
program might be?
I don't have an idea.
No problem.
I hope that he can play there. I know that he want to play, but I don't know exactly.
Of course, it starts in about a week, right?
Yes.
I think so. A decision needs to be made
Yes.
soon. Looking back to last year with Rafa, I mean, the first 6 months were incredible, particularly the first couple of months. Then, of course, there was a couple of issues with the foot before Roland Garros, but in Roland Garros, the miracle occurred in number 14. The following 6 months was more difficult for Rafa, of course, with the ab issues and so on. Do you think, regarding the match with Taylor Fritz at Wimbledon, if you were there, would you have been asking him to retire in that match? Would you, like his father, like Sebastian, was saying, come on, get off the court?
On Monday, everyone knows the results. After when you know what happened later, it's easy to talk. But at the same time, I have to say, if he retired before, maybe he has one Roland Garros less, one Wimbledon less. So you never know. Is the real truth is that in this match he cannot play for the next match, but I think that Rafael he was playing really well in Wimbledon. He won the first two Grand Slam. He was in the close to the semi-final, and then when you are there, the normal thing is to play because you know that maybe if you can make an effort, you know that you have the possibility to win Wimbledon. Then it's normal that he want to play.
Yeah. The next few months, he managed to come back for New York, but I believe he wasn't in a great condition before the US
No,
Open.
he was after Wimbledon, everything wrong. He has problems with different parts of his body. Then the season changed absolutely because till Roland Garros he played really good,
Yeah.
and then okay, with the problem when you have a lot of problems, then it's difficult to play well. It's difficult to be focused, and this is what happened.
Again, do you think maybe skipping, not playing the US Open might have been better for the rest of his year? Okay.
It's again the same. I never know the what do we have to do exactly because I want to say again when everything is finished
Yeah.
on Monday everyone knows. The thing is to know on Saturday
Yeah.
or in Friday.
The indoor season for Rafa didn't go very well in the
But
results.
was not the indoor season. Was after Wimbledon
Okay.
too much problems. He cannot practice normal. He cannot compete normal. Then it's difficult to play like this. In Roland Garros or in the clay season is different because still you are not on the top form. You know that Rafael can make an effort because he controlled the power, he controlled the speed. But when you play on the indoor season or when you play in indoor, it's too difficult. Is what I said in Turin. When you play in Roland Garros, Rafael has maybe 2 3 matches to take the control.
Yeah.
In Turin, no. In Turin, you play against the first match
Yeah.
against Taylor Fritz or
Yeah, Taylor.
Taylor Fritz, not easier.
And then Felix, of course.
And then against Felix. And then in the third, he played
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
against Casper Ruud, but he need 2 matches. Was too late.
We saw at Wimbledon just the same in the first couple of rounds against Berankis and Sarondolo. It was a bit difficult.
Claro.
But by the
Claro.
time he plays Botic and also Taylor, the first 3 or 4 games against Taylor was incredible.
Yes, and this is what happened. This is what happened with Rafael is 36 years old. The body is not like before. He don't need to practice a lot, but he need to compete. And he took in the last time he take his top form competing, not practicing. Then when he play a Grand Slam, he knows that sometimes the first 2 3 rounds you have matches that you can win without playing perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But when you play indoor, you play against the number 20, the number 30, the number
Yeah.
6 or 7, or you are on top, or you cannot win.
Looking at the next few months, maybe even the next year, how close are we to the end for Rafa? Are we, Paris Olympics is a Is a romantic idea, perhaps, that he would play there next year? But
I don't know. I never talked about this with him. I don't know.
no idea.
What I believe, and this is my opinion, is Rafael will play till he think that he can win. Then, but that depends how good he is, how good can he practice, and then we can see. But at the end, they don't ask me these kind of questions. I is all what I say is my opinion, and not the opinion of Rafael. But I think Rafael has to play normal and seeing every day how he's going, and then okay.
Just quickly regarding Wimbledon last year, I remember the first couple of rounds against Sorondolo. He wins the first 2 sets. He loses the third. He's a breakdown in the fourth. And I'm thinking to myself, if that's me, Tony, I am really, really scared because it's 15-40. I could be a double breakdown. But,
Yes,
but somehow he gets it back. How does he do that?
Good. He used to fight always, and Rafael used to know that in tennis, like in the life, never the things goes, or almost never the thing goes perfect, and you have to be willing to work hard when the things goes not too good. And this is what he has to try all his life. Playing well when everything goes good is not easy, but it's not too difficult. The important thing is to play focus and to give your best when the thing goes wrong. And Rafael, after playing many times in Wimbledon, he knows that the the game, the result change quickly on grass. You make a double fault, a good return of your opponent, and you is breakdown.
Mm.
Then when that happen, you have to know that maybe you can make the same. Rafael knows he has the confidence that he can do it, and he fight.
When he's bouncing the ball, is he thinking, I've done this before, it's okay? 2008 Wimbledon final, for example, but many examples where it's like, okay, I'm in trouble. But is he thinking about the past? Or
What I think, always when we do something, is because we have a background that give or confidence or give us no confidence. But of course, when you play many years and you have seen that when you have problems, that when you go down and you fight and you have normally a good success, it's normal that when come again, you want to fight. And he has this in his mind.
how has he evolved as a player to the way you see things over the last 17, 18 years since he turned professional, or 20 years almost? Is he a better player? Is he a different player? How has it been over the last 17, 18 years?
Something is better, something is worse. Of course, when Rafael arrived in the ATP Tour, he was really young. He was 16 years old, and of course, he was not well done in this moment. Then, during many years, he improved. When you watch the first Rafael Nadal in Roland Garros, is not the same than the Rafael Nadal in 2008 or in 2010. I think the best player was in this moment, 2008, 2010, because he was young, he has power, he has a good decision, uh, good shots, but then it's normal. The body goes a little worse. Then you have to put more things. Then I think after that, he can goes more to the net.
Yep.
He can hit the ball a little better. His backhand every year, the serve was a little better. How is normal? Who is better, the Federer in 2006-7 or Federer in 2017? I think Federer before, but in 2017, Federer improved a lot his return. He improved a lot his backhand. It's normal. The big players, they are looking for solutions always. And when you can run, you run. When you cannot run, you hit the ball a little faster, or you are more aggressive, or you make shorter points. But that is a thing about to be a great player.
If there's one match from Rafa's story where you think that was a missed opportunity, there was a big chance.
I
There
have matches,
two.
3 in Australian Open. No more. We lose the opportunity in Wimbledon against Djokovic in semi-final.
2018.
Then we lose the opportunity more important because that was semi-final. We lose the opportunity in Australian Open. In the Australian Open 2014, 2012, and 2017.
Yeah.
In 14 because he has an injury against Wawrinka that before he had never lose against him. Then with Djokovic and Federer, he had breakup in the fifth.
Yeah.
And 40-30 or the 30-50, I don't remember well. It was a ball very close, goes up. But this is what happened. There was in Roland Garros 2009. Of course, he I am sure that he won. He will he won this tournament when he has no problems in his knee, because at this moment he was the best. He won Australian Open, then he won the tournaments on clay, and he arrived with problems in Roland Garros, and for this reason, in my opinion, he lose. But there are others time that maybe he has to lose and he won.
Let's talk about today and the tour and the other players on the tour. Of course, you're with Felix nowadays, Felix Auger-Aliassime. How is that going with Felix at the moment?
Very good. Good is he's playing not too good the last tournaments. He has some problems in his serve. For him, it's very important to serve well because it's his best weapon. But I am very happy that I can collaborate with him because he's a wonderful guy. He's high education. Then he's always correct on court, outside the court. He's a good fighter. How always he need to improve a little more, but I think he can be many years there, and we want to win some Grand Slams, or we want to be. He want to be number one, and it's not easy. There is Alcaraz, Sinner are very good, Medvedev, but in my opinion, if he work hard, he has the chance. Because in my opinion, he has a good way to improve.
Where could he improve? Which areas?
The backhand can improve a little more. The tranquility when the things goes difficult. Sometimes we lose the the confidence, and I say to be top, you need to play well when the things goes not too good. And sometimes in this way we can improve a little.
If he is to win a Grand Slam, or he was to win a big tournament, he may have to beat your nephew. He may have to play and may have to beat him, particularly at Roland Garros. How is the feeling for you? I think I know you've spoken before about this, but how are you feeling?
When he came here and he asked me to collaborate with him, the first thing that I said was, I can collaborate, but if you play against Rafael, I cannot decide that you win. Is more in Roland Garros. In Roland Garros, last year because the people talk, but I spoke before with him, and it's not the same when I am his coach, only his coach, and I am always with him. Maybe it can be different. I make a collaboration. I am the director of here. This is from I work for Rafael to here. I cannot decide this, but it's not the same. Now it's not the same when Rafael can win or when Rafael cannot win the tournament. For example, in the last Masters Cup that I thought that Rafael cannot was difficult for him to win the tournament. For me, can win Rafael, can win Felix. It was no bad, not too bad. When someone win was good. If Felix win, perfect. If the victory goes to Rafael, was good too.
Tony, 100% big thank you for joining us on Talking Tennis, and I look forward to speaking to you and crossing paths with you again soon.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. If there's one match from Rafa's story where you think that was a missed opportunity, there was a big chance.
We have matches,
2
or 3 in Australian Open. No more. We lose the opportunity in Wimbledon against Djokovic in semi-final.
2018.
Then we lose the opportunity more important because that was semi-final. We lose the opportunity in Australian Open. In the Australian Open 2014, 2012 and 2017.
Yeah.
In 14 because he has an injury against Wawrinka that before he had never lose against him. Then with Djokovic and Federer, he had breakup in the 5th.
Yeah.
And 40-30 or 30-50, I don't remember well. It was a ball very close, goes. But this is what happened. There was in Roland Garros 2009. Of course, he I am sure that he won. He will win. He won this tournament when he has no problems in his knee, because at this moment he was the best. He won Australian Open, then he won the tournaments on clay, and he arrived with problems in Roland Garros. For this reason, in my opinion, he loses. But there are others time that maybe he has to lose and he won. We are ready.
Hola a todos, estoy aquí para comunicaros que
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Ready? Play. Ready? Play.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. A spontaneous show. I wasn't sure about covering this, but I think even if it is an exhibition, we can certainly dip in. Hi, Jake. Good to see you. Hi, Zach. Great to see you here for the first time, at least to the best of my knowledge, watching a match together. Make sure you do hit the like button. Of course, if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. We're just watching the players warming up, both practicing serves. So that probably means we're less than a minute or two away from them getting underway. Of course, their head-to-head will conclude because we now know that Rafa's story is at an end, pretty much, with the exception of the Davis Cup. Their head-to-head will finish as 31-29. I'm looking at career totals for Djokovic, 99 to 92 of Rafa Nadal, 24-22, of course, possibly the most significant figure in terms of major titles in favor, of course, of Novak. Novak leading as well the Masters race of 40-36 and having almost double, in fact, a bit more than double, excuse me, the number of weeks at number one compared to Rafa. Novak still having the knee brace. That has been the case pretty much throughout the last sort of, I don't know, 12, 16 weeks since Roland Garros, basically, when he first picked up the injury. It'd be interesting to see how Nadal's movement is today and how he is compared or preparation for the Davis Cup, because there is still the question of whether he'll play singles there. Do let me know in the live chat what you thought of Nadal against Alcaraz from a couple of days ago. And how seriously should we really be taking this event today? Let's share their head-to-head, shall we, on the screen. How you doing, Jake? There we go. And I will be sharing the score with you as well shortly. This is officially titled the third place match. So we guaranteed ourselves a couple of matches involving both of these two players. Of course, Djokovic losing in 3 sets to Jannik Sinner in a pretty competitive affair. But Jannik certainly seems to have Novak's number right now. What do we think about Novak and his career, by the way? Do we see him winning another Grand Slam? Do let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Now, I have actually got as well a poll in terms of how you feel as though these two players at their peak, how they fared. Do let me know your thoughts on that as well. And Rafa Nadal will serve first. So I see that we've got 70-30 here in favor of people thinking that Novak's peak eclipses that of loopy and spinny as always, but even the backhand, they're a bit spinny too. Novak, of course, changing direction there, going towards the forehand of Rafa. Good depth there for Rafa, but Rafa eventually errs on the forehand side, clips the net and goes wide. And it is love 15, as you can hear. Into the backhand of Djokovic from that serve, and it's a backhand that's going to go long from Rafa, and so it's love 30. Obviously a very relaxed looking Rafa Nadal team today. I think they'll be most keen to see how he is with the Davis Cup in mind. Pretty much just one more tournament. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be playing at Paris-Bercy. I don't think he would want to jeopardize his chances at the Davis Cup. He might, of course, just decide to play, or with the team, might just decide to play doubles only. The cheer of the crowd will tell you who won that point. It's going to be a fault there on the first serve, 15-30. If you're watching on YouTube, do hit like, and of course, also subscribe if you are new. Forehand return from Novak is long, so we're at 30 all. Backhand from Rafa, backhand from Novak. Rafa still just going cross court there, but Novak changing direction, which has occasionally caused Rafa problems in their rivalry in the past. Rafa puts the forehand into the net. Reluctant to change directions there, Rafa. So, break point, Novak Djokovic. Yes, Jake, commiserations, of course. Sorry to hear the sad news about Theo. Backhand return is a backhand winner. The Nadal decided to serve and volley that one, and we've already got the break of serve going the way of Novak Djokovic. Of course, the last time these two met was in the Olympics in Paris. When Novak won in straight sets before going on to win the gold medal. What do we think about Nadal at the Davis Cup? Do we expect him to play singles? Not sure. I think maybe it'll even depend on how competitive he is today. So, Djokovic to serve. 1-love he leads. Nadal winning a point there. fault from Djokovic. So a second serve here for Nadal to look at. Backhand return is decent. Still on the backhand of Rafa. Of course, the lefty situation. He switches it up, going to the forehand of Novak. That's a good backhand there from Rafa. Forcing the error. I mean, it's probably more of an unforced error than forced, but I'm sure you know what I mean. So we've got love 30 now on the Novak serve. Now Rafa goes big on the forehand, but not big enough. Changing direction. Rafa in charge of this rally. Hitting it big. That's a loopy one, and it goes long. Rafa will be annoyed at that one. 15-30. Another look at the Rafa team, including baby Rafa, Benito, his media guy. Fitness and coaches all there, including Carlos Moya, of course. Backhand return from Rafa is a bit short. It was a good serve from Novak. Backhand slice from Rafa. Now the forehand of Rafa into the backhand of Novak. Novak changing direction, and it's forcing the error there. We're back at 30 all. It was a sort of a look there at the Djokovic serve. Unforced error from Nadal, and we now got a game point for Novak Djokovic. Backhand Novak. It's going to be good, is it? No, well defended there from Rafa. Now backhand slice from Nadal. Really good depth there from Rafa. Now he goes for sort of the drop shot, and it's going to be an error from Djokovic, and we're at deuce. But now it's Djokovic with a game point. Do get voting in our poll, by the way, as to who you think was a better player, peak Rafa or peak Novak. Double fault from Djokovic. We're back at deuce. Not the highest quality of matches thus far. So, with the second serve here, and also the second deuce. Forehand return from Rafa is long. Game point Novak Djokovic for the third time. It was love 30 down on his serve. Rafa was very much in charge of that point at love 30 before he erred. Second serve once again for Nadal to look at. He's tending to go to the backhand when he needs to on the serve. He does go on the backhand there again. The depth situation from Rafa is hit and miss, let's say. Rafa could have come into the net there, didn't do so. Gets punished with a forehand winner down the line from Novak. So it's 2 games to love. There you go. Umpire confirms it. How are we all doing today, by the way? Do hit that like button. Maybe it's time to shed some light on proceedings. There we go. How about that? Nadal down the tee. Forehand Rafa, but he goes into the body of Novak. And that's going to land in. Pretty horrible point there for Rafa in so many respects. I mean, he's really got to be going cross-court with that forehand. Forehand from Rafa there. That's the forehand that we know and love from Rafa. Down the line winner, 15 all. Of course, we remember how sort of rough it was for the first set and a half between Novak and Rafa. I think it was like a 7-4 love that Djokovic had a lead in Paris before Nadal gets it back to 4 all, if I remember rightly. There we go, Rafa. That's better. 30-15. Do share some of your thoughts in the live chat, either on proceedings today, but also on the careers of either Rafa or Novak. Also, Carlos playing Yannick later as well. And there's an ace from Rafa Nadal, 40-15. Down the tee, backhand return is long, and Rafa's on the board, 2 games to 1. At the change of ends, let's have a look at our YouTube poll to see what's going on there. Peak Rafa versus peak Djokovic. What are we saying, people? What are we thinking? Also, let me know in the live chat what you think about Nadal and the Davis Cup, how you anticipate Nadal's appearance there to go or to be, what kind of level we expect from him. Will he play singles? Can he inspire Spain to victory? Of course, there's a few interviews on the channel referencing Rafa as well. Do check those out with players that played against him, that received his ball, that practiced with him, that knew him since childhood, in the case of Pablo Andujar. Players that were practicing with him as recently as December last year in the form of Jan-Lennard Struff. And players that never got the chance to play against him, such as Hugo Humbert, and Hugo lamenting that in an interview recently. How is the poll looking, by the way? 70-30 in favour of Novak. Yeah, that's fair. Backhand return there from Rafa. Once again, that backhand return from him has been an issue today. It's difficult. I mean, it's all about the surface, really, isn't it, Jake? I mean, of course, on clay, it's going to be Rafa every time, but probably on the two other surfaces. I mean, I have phrased it as in peak. So Rafa's peak, you could say, was 2010, 2013 on the hard courts. And therefore, you would put him up against Djokovic on hard, probably 2011, 2015. I think peak Djokovic on grass certainly has the edge. And indoor hard too. What do we think about the interviews with Mouratoglou, for example, and Lorenzo Musetti that have been posted on the channel recently? Ooh, what a rally that is. And Djokovic wins it. (3-1) Novak Djokovic. Backhand return from Novak is into the net. Do give us a follow on Instagram, by the way, at Talking Tennis TT. .30 love there as Djokovic errs. There's Sebastian Nadal, Rafa's father. Of course, we all remember him at Wimbledon a couple of years ago, who's urging his son to retire in that match against Taylor Fritz. Rafa went on to win in 5 sets, but how much damage he did to himself that day, well, maybe a little bit of midterm damage in terms of the rest of his season. But ultimately, it was the hip injury he picked up in Australia in January 2023 that was kind of like the final big injury of his career. We still don't quite know the exact specific injury, or if it's just a collection of injuries. And I think also perhaps there's a double fault there from Rafa. Also perhaps just his form probably at the academy in the last few months. On the odd occasion he has been practicing, certainly post-Olympics. Probably he felt that his movement and maybe the results were just not coming. And I think Rafa was never going to have a Gasquet kind of, or even Andy Murray kind of end of his career where he was sort of taking a few losses in early rounds across the tour. Double fault there from Rafa. And we've got 30-40 now. Another break point here for Novak Djokovic. Already got a break advantage, of course, in this match. Chop return there from Novak, goes into the net. It's a very cautious return there from Djokovic. And despite the caution, it still didn't get over the net. Forehand here from Rafa. Turning up the pace a little bit there. Another forehand there. Now it's a drop shot. And it's going to be too good. Advantage Nadal. Forehand return from Novak. Good depth there from Djokovic. Now it's on the forehand of Rafa. Equally good depth from him and excellent topspin as well. Look how deep Novak is in the court. Forehand to the backhand of Novak, going into the backhand of Rafa. Good cross court there from Rafa. And the forehand goes into the net from Novak Djokovic. And we are at 3-2. So 3-2, fairly cagey affair, I would say. It's not quite the hitting the peaks of Roland Garros 2021, US Open 2010, 2011, or 2013. Roland Garros 2013, was it that semi-final that was a 5-setter that went the way of Rafa? Also the 2018 Wimbledon semi-final. Some of those epic matches. And I think whatever happens today, it won't quite hit those peaks, if only for, of course, the level of importance. When we do return, it'll be Novak Djokovic to serve at 3-2. And they are now returning to the court. What do we think about the relationship between these two? I got the impression that at the beginning, things were pretty good. But of course, then around COVID times, I think things got a bit icy between the pair. And after the match in 2021 at Roland Garros, the exchange at the net and also the post-match comments from Novak suggested that things weren't great, let's say, between the two. But I think now where we are, we saw the picture that Novak posted on Instagram as they were flying over to Indian Wells in March, but also his social media post in the wake of Rafa's retirement suggests there's nothing but respect between the pair. Second serve here. 15-love, Novak Djokovic. Backhand from Novak into the forehand of Rafa. Backhand slice there. The slices have been pretty good from Rafa today thus far. Could have come into the net again there, but Rafa chose not to. Will Novak punish? That's a lovely cross court there from Novak, and it's going to force the error from Rafa. 30-love. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit like. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. We've hit the 11K subscriber mark, but let's try and get to 12 as soon as possible. Also, if you're watching on Twitter, feel free to comment and retweet and give us a follow either on Twitter or on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT. We're also on TikTok too. Not TikTok too as in like there's two versions, but TikTok as well. 40-love here, Novak Djokovic. 3 game points for a 4-2 lead. Double fault. As I say, the quality, even by expectation standards, I would still say the quality has been, off, let's say. Doesn't seem like the conditions are particularly fast there, which, if anything, probably would suit Rafa more than Novak. A mishit forehand there from Djokovic, but he gets away with it. The slice there from Rafa is decent. Another slice there from both players. And it's a forehand winner from Rafa Nadal, 40-30. But it is Novak with that serve, bringing up 4-2. Okay, Nadal to serve here at 2-4. Goes down the tee, but he goes long. And it's a double fault from Rafa. So love 15. So another fault from Rafa. So that's 3 failures in a row, albeit, of course, it's just one double fault. Forehand return from Novak is good. Backhand down the line from Rafa, but that's excellent from Novak, turning defense into attack there, like no one, possibly in the history of the sport, is able to do. Love 30. And now it's Rafa erring again, so we have love 40. Almost like Paris all over again. Da, 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 wee. Rafa into the net on the first serve. That net looks particularly loose. Good serve there, though, even though it was a second serve from Rafa. Lovely forehand, putting Djokovic on the defense, and that's not going to land in. So 15-40, one of the break points saved. And Djokovic going to put that backhand away with consummate ease, and he does break for 5-2. When they return, he will serve for the first set with that double break advantage that he now holds over his long time rival, Rafael Nadal. Is this knee brace, do we expect it to be a permanent thing? And it's going to be there for the rest of Novak's career? Or perhaps just the rest of this season? Five, two. Do get voting in our poll on YouTube, by the way, and also feel free to comment in the live chat, either on Instagram, Twitter, or on YouTube as to who you think had a higher peak, Rafa or Novak. Okay, Djokovic here to serve for the first set. Backhand return from Rafa. Now it's on the forehand, and Novak is too good. Maybe there we saw a little sign of the lack of movement from Rafa that ultimately is bringing an end to his career. I think a young, dashing, quick Rafa would have at least got his racket on that one. Serve has gone long. Backhand return from Nadal. Pretty good depth on that one. And it's 15 all. What do we think about Novak's competitiveness, either throughout the rest of this year, but possibly even more importantly in terms of next year? Is next year his last chance to get a slam? Rafa goes long on the backhand return, so it's 30-15. Forehand from Rafa into the forehand of Novak. Oh, backhand there from Rafa was wayward, and we've got 2 set points for Novak Djokovic. 40-15. And Novak Djokovic does get it over the line. And he does win that first set, 6-2. Let's go have a quick look at the Twitter sphere to see what people off Twitter are saying. I think many are probably feeling quite similarly. Scott there suggesting this is the rivalry is no longer with us and we're just watching a ghost of it. Matthew as well. Make sure you give Matthew a follow. Oh, hello.
It's something to do with that, but actually would be better now. How did you prepare for it? Must be
this is Carlos Moya.
Probably could be his last singles match against Novak Djokovic before he does hang up his racket. Yeah, it could be. Probably it's his biggest enemy, rival on course. So yeah, I think a lot of emotions today here, and I guess it's normal that he's maybe a little bit nervous at the beginning, but yeah, for us it's great to be here with him, and just playing Novak, and it's a great experience for him as well. So let's try to enjoy now.
Absolutely. Well, you can tell from the atmosphere here, everybody is really enjoying this match. It's a fantastic atmosphere. And
ask him if Rafa's going to play singles at Davis Cup.
Once again, thank you so much, Carlos.
Okay, don't ask him. So those are the words of Carlos Moya anyway. So, yeah, just a couple of short thoughts there from Carlos Moya, but also a couple of thoughts here from the Twitter sphere. Nadal will serve at the beginning of this second set. Double fault from Rafa. We've seen a few double faults from both players today. People talking about the last dance. Well, I think the last dance for these two was in Paris. It's love 30 already on the Rafa serve. So not the ideal start for the Spaniard at the beginning of this second set. And it's now love 40. And Rafa saves one of the break points. And the forehand from Rafa goes long. 1 game to love for Novak Djokovic. He's got the break, so he now leads by a set and a break in Riyadh. Rafa hitting so many slices today. I think that's also perhaps an indication of the maybe an indication of the fact that maybe he can't move as well. It's a lot more movement involved of the footwork as well to get that backhand on some of those shots. It's a little easier to hit the slice. First serve into the net from Djokovic. Second serve goes long, so love 15. That's a lovely backhand winner there from Rafa. Love 30. Remember, he got broken in the first set and had immediately got to love 30 on Djokovic's serve, but wasn't able to put the hammer down. He was very much in charge of the next point, which if this wasn't an exhibition, I think he would have be a bit more disappointed with the way that love 30 game went. $15.30. Good serve there from Novak, but a decent return from Rafa. That time he does elect to use the double-handed backhand, and again. Ooh, that forehand goes wide, and we've got some break points for Rafa Nadal for the first time in this match. Lovely forehand winner there from Novak down the line. Backhand return. Backhand from Rafa. Passing shot there from Rafa Nadal. He gets the break. Clenched fist. 1 game all. So he's got the break back. Lovely forehand winner there, 15 all. Some cheers there from the crowd. Tell you that Rafa won that point, 30-15. Forehand winner there from Rafa, 40-15. $40-30 now. Oh, why are they cheering that? It's a very weird reaction from the crowd there, clearly not knowing what's going on because it was a horrible, horrible volley there from Rafa Nadal. Forehand there from Rafa. Lovely forehand, but good defense there from Novak. Rafa comes into the net now, but he doesn't need to do much more than that because he puts a forehand winner away. 2-1 for Nadal. He was, of course, 1-love down. So 2-1 for Rafa Nadal. Did Rafa up his level? Did Novak drop it? Maybe a bit of both. But I think in a little bit like Matt is saying on Twitter, it's quite difficult to get pumped for this one. That's a forehand winner there from Novak Djokovic, 15 love. Djokovic here serving. That's a wayward forehand there from Rafa. 30 love. Rafa already achieving as many games at the beginning of this second set as he did in the entire of the first. Oh, miss hit there from Rafa's going to go long, and it's 40 love. Oh, lovely behind the back there from Djokovic, as in behind the run of Nadal. And it's 2 games all. Down the tee, but it's long. Forehand there from Rafa goes into the net, so it's love 15. Looking quite displeased with himself there as the Spaniard. Oh, Novak goes big there on the forehand. That was a really good opportunity for the Serb, but he bent too big into the net. So 30-15 Nadal. Backhand return from Novak, forehand from Rafa is a forehand winner. I saw the Roland Garros Twitter account post their 5 favorite or their 5 best Rafa forehands from all his time at RG. It's funny because I actually think that they get worse with each so the first couple of forehands they show in presumably in a particular order in terms of which ones they think are best. But I thought the 5th and 4th ones that they showed were his best amongst the 5. Do check out that account and those forehands. And it's an unreturnable serve from Rafa into the body of Novak Djokovic. We'll remember that shot in Canada into the body of Novak Djokovic that upset the Serb so much. About 10 years ago, I think it was. A little bit more, maybe. Might have been 2013 when Rafa was on that sort of North American hardcourt tear. Do share any of your Rafa memories in the live chat or post on Twitter or on Instagram. But also maybe you've got memories of Novak you'd like to share, or perhaps even more specifically the rivalry between the two. I think those 3 matches they had at Roland Garros in 2020, 21, 2022, so 3 years in a row, of course, they met there in the final of 2020. Or sort of gradually they were meeting a bit earlier, weren't they, each year? In 2020, I thought Novak was going to win that one. But Rafa didn't. He sort of aired a lot of confidence to Carlos Moya just before the match. And Carlos said he's never really seen Rafa that confident before a match, and he justified that confidence with a straight set win over Novak. Of course, that was the winter Roland Garros of October 2020. Then they met again in 2021, and on that occasion, I thought Rafa was going to win. But it was Novak who came up trumps by 3-1, and arguably the greatest set of all time when they were at 1-1, going to a tiebreak. Rafa did have a set point on the Novak serve at the end of the third set, on a second serve as well. I know Rafa said he had some regrets about that, but the set was epic, goes to the tiebreak, and eventually Novak takes it before Rafa then gets a very early break in the fourth, but by now the foot injury was too much for Rafa and the movement was gone. But Novak won that in 4, and I thought Rafa would win. By 2022, remember that night match they had in the quarterfinal? Oh, wow. Wonderful defense there from Rafa Nadal, and it's love 15 now on the Novak serve. By 2022, I actually thought Novak would emerge the winner, particularly in the wake of that 2020-21 win. Also, it was at night, maybe even a bit later in the evening than it was in 2021. And a lot of pundits, understandably, were thinking that might benefit Novak. Novak putting a forehand wide there, love 30. And I thought the same. I also thought that Novak's path to that quarterfinal had suggested that he was coming into excellent form and Rafa's was shaky. We remember that 5 sets he had against Felix just before, where Rafa was pretty off it for most of the match until the 5th set, when he just, arguably played perfect tennis. Certainly, I think he played the perfect game when he did break Felix. Had a chance to go down the line there, Rafa. Didn't take it and got punished by Novak, and it's 15-30. So he had love 30 after a forehand error from Novak. First serve fault from Novak Djokovic, so second serve here, 15-30. Of course, he goes into the backhand of Rafa. The backhand return from Rafa has not done enough today. And a forehand goes long from Novak, 15-40, 2 break points. First serve wide. Backhand return from Rafa goes long. Nice kick serve there from Novak. Again into the backhand of Rafa. I'd love to know the stats on how often he goes to the backhand and the forehand. It seems to be like 90-10 on the serves today. First serve into the net. Still a break point here for Rafa to take a 4-2 lead. Backhand return from Rafa. Could have maybe gone off a run-around forehand on that one, but that time the forehand goes into the net from Rafa. And from 15-40, we're now at deuce. Could have done a run-around forehand on that second serve, I thought. It was quite close to the line, but good serve there from Novak. Novak serve and volley. Backhand cross-court winner, though, from Nadal. The volley was nowhere near good enough from Djokovic. Gave Nadal the chance, and he's got a 3rd break point. Now, I know this is not going to count in the official stats, but remember, Nadal has not taken a set off Novak Djokovic on a hard court in over 11 years. 2013 was the last one. Forehand Novak. It's going to be Rafa on the defense. Smash from Novak, and it's a good one. The Djoko smash working fine there. Deuce. Novak coming into the net, and he puts that backhand away with consummate ease. Game point, Novak Djokovic, 4, 3 games all. Forehand winner there. Lovely forehand winner from Novak Djokovic. And it is 3 games all, saving 3 break points in the process. As we see Jannik Sinner warming up. Nadal to serve now. How much will that have hurt him? Down the tee, backhand return. Forehand from Rafa is wide. If he does get broken here, he'll be regretting that forehand for sure. Maybe not quite as much as that volley he had on top of the net at Roland Garros a few years ago. Backhand return from Novak. Forehand from Rafa down the line. Lovely forehand there, though, from Novak again, turning defense into attack like no one else can. And it's forced the error from Nadal. It's love 30 now. And from 15-40, and then also advantage. So 3 break points for Rafa that came and went in that previous service game of Djokovic. We are now at love 30, as so often is the case. When you don't take that advantage and then suddenly you're under pressure on your serve in the next one. Good serve, though, there from Rafa, deceiving Novak, I think, who thought maybe Rafa would go down the tee. He didn't, and it's 15-30. Into the net on the first serve, so a second serve here. 15-30. Can Djokovic garner a break point? Remember, Djokovic was up an early break in this set. 1-love with a break. Into the forehand. Now it's on the backhand of Rafa. And it's the backhand. It's going to go long. And we've got 2 break points for Novak Djokovic at 15-40. If he was to break, we would then be potentially looking at the closing stages of this match. But still a little bit of work to do yet. 15-40, 3-all. Goes down the tee, backhand return from Novak, forehand Rafa. Didn't do enough with that forehand Rafa there. Now it's on the backhand of Rafa, which has been an issue. Run around forehand for Rafa. And Novak goes into the net on his forehand. So one of the break points has been saved, 30-40. Do let me know in the live chat, or if you're on Instagram or on Twitter, do post and let us know where you are watching us, and also where you're watching this match from, where you are located. I'm in Bonn, in Western Germany. Forehand winner down the line there from Rafa, and the second break point has been saved. So Djokovic saved 3 break points on his serve in the previous game. Rafa has now saved 2 on his serve in this game. And we're back to deuce. Down the tee, backhand return from Novak. Forehand Rafa into the forehand of Novak. Has that landed in? I think it has. If it has, that's his best backhand of the match there from Rafa. Yes, it has. Must have just clipped the line. Wow. Easily the best backhand of the match from him. We remember that backhand winner he had at the end of the French Open quarterfinal of 2022. It's reminiscent of that one, but this one was probably even better, more difficult, because Rafa was much deeper position on the court. Albeit not quite the same level of pressure when you've got a match point at Roland Garros in the quarterfinals. And the forehand return from Novak goes into the net, and it's 4-3. So both players have saved break points in the last 2 games. And now it's back over to Novak to serve. 4-3, or 3-4, perhaps I should say. So, back to the court they come. This time it'll be Novak under a little bit of pressure on his serve. Well, at least he's serving at 3-4, if you follow. A couple of pictures here of the pair, 18 years apart. So, Djokovic to serve. Goes out wide. Rafa just gets his racket on that one. But it's Novak on the attack, and he easily wins that point, 15-love. Djokovic serving here. 15-love, 3-4. Second set. Rafa Nadal forehand return. See, when it's a sort of 15-love point, not huge. Oh, what about that for a backhand winner from Rafa? I was being quite critical of his backhand in this match until recently, but his two backhand winners in those last two games have been sensational. That time it was a cross-court backhand winner. The shots are still there, just about. Gets the thumbs up from Novak, that one. $15.30. Down the tee, serve there, 30 all. $40-30 now. Game point for Novak to go 4 all in this second set. Down the tee, but it goes long. Pretty sure he'll go into the backhand again on this serve. Does. Backhand return from Rafa. Could have maybe again run around that one, perhaps. Novak backhand. Now the Rafa backhand. Now it's going to be on the forehand of Rafa. Lovely change of direction there from Novak, but actually Rafa defended it well enough and we're at deuce. Advantage Djokovic now as Nadal goes out. Game point Novak. Once again, second one of this game. And it's a backhand from Rafa. It's going to land in, though. Now Rafa's on the defense again, but he's not going to get that slice over the net. And it's 4-all. Now it's love 15 on the Rafa serve. Now it's love 30 on the Rafa serve. Is this Novak going to make his move here at 4-all, love 30? And it's a double fault, so we've got 3 break points now. It's such a crucial stage in this second set. Good serve down the tee from Rafa. But unbelievable depth there on that return. Oh, Rafa just hitting the line now, I think. Goes for the drop shot, but that's not going to work from Rafa. Djokovic breaks and leads 5-4. When they return, Djokovic will be serving for the match. And we'll take a quick break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. So, Djokovic serving for the match at 5-4 in this second set. Fending off those break points a couple of games ago was huge. 3 of them Rafa had. And it's an excellent serve down the tee from Novak Djokovic. And it's an ace, and it's 15-love. Goes down the tee again into the backhand of Rafa. And that backhand goes wide from Djokovic. It's uncharacteristic error that was from a reasonably neutral position. Good depth from Rafa, but Novak would expect to at least have landed that backhand in, but it didn't. It went wide, and it's 15-all. Down the tee, forehand return from Rafa. Now backhand from Novak. Feels as though this point is huge, 15-30, and might be a few concerns from Novak. And in fact, it is 15-30 after he dumps his backhand into the net. Guess where he's going on this serve? But, well, the first serve he might not go to the backhand, but if it's a second serve, I'm sure he will. 15-30. He was going to the backhand, but it's a let first service. Pretty sure he'll go down the tee again into the Rafa backhand, but let's see. No, he goes out wide. In fact, that may well have deceived Rafa. So good one there from Novak. Going the opposite direction, and 30-all. Ace, second ace of the game. His 2 points that he's earned in this game have actually both come via an ace. 30-all. 2 points away from victory. Good serve there from Novak. It's an unreturnable serve, and he's got match point at 40-30. Will he convert his first match point? The cameras are out. Into the net on the first serve. So there's a chance now for Rafa at least. He was struggling with pretty much all of Djokovic's first serves in this game. Now it's a runaround forehand return for Rafa. They're on the forehand, both players. Lovely backhand there from Rafa. He's going to have to do it again because good defense there from Novak, and it's a lovely forehand winner, and it's deuce. Making Novak work for this at the very least. Yeah, so Djokovic's 3 points in this game have come from 2 aces and an unreturnable, all off the first serve. But a lovely forehand winner there from Rafa, and it's deuce. I think we might have seen enough from Rafa today to suggest that he could play singles at the Davis Cup. Backhand return from Rafa, forehand from Novak. Gets a bit lucky with that net cord. Slice from Rafa. Rafa on the defense. Novak forehand. Backhand slice again from Rafa. Oh, Rafa Nadal. But forehand winner down the line. Rolling back the years with that one. And he's got a break point now on the Djokovic serve. It's, I think, his 4th one of this set. Break point. And Rafa breaks to the delight of the crowd. We're at 5-all. To the chants of Rafa from the crowd. Then a few no. Djokovic forehand, lovely forehand there. Has that landed in? Yes, it has. Another incredible forehand winner from Rafa Nadal. Punches the air, 15-love. 15 love, 5-all. Djokovic goes long, 30 love. For those of you watching on YouTube, do hit the like button. Feel free to comment as well on the live chat, either on Instagram, YouTube, or on Twitter, where you can also give us a retweet too. Down the tee, backhand return from Novak. Forehand, Rafa that time goes too big, hoping to strike it, third time lucky. He's got the previous two pretty much spot on, but that one was wide. 30-15. Rafa forehand cross court goes long, 30-all. And from looking quite comfortable, it's now a bit of anxiety for Rafa here at 30-all from 30 love. Rafa puts that volley away. Serve and volley, 40-30, game point for 6-5. Two breaks of serve from both players in this set. Remember, Djokovic had a 1-love lead with a break. Nadal broke back immediately. Djokovic breaks for 5-4. Nadal breaks back immediately for 5-all. Backhand return from Novak is into the net, and it's 6-5. So Djokovic will serve now to stay in the second set. Just remember, a couple of games ago, Djokovic was serving for the match. But now, 5-6. Shall we listen to some of Tony Nadal's words on his nephew's near misses at Grand Slams? If there's one match from Rafa's story where you think that was a missed opportunity, there was a big chance.
There have matches.
2
or 3 in Australian Open. No more. We lose the opportunity in Wimbledon against Djokovic in semi-final.
2018.
Then we lose the opportunity, more important because that was semi-final. We lose the opportunity in Australian Open. In the Australian Open 2014, 2012 and 2017.
Yeah.
In 14 because he has an injury against Wawrinka that before he had never lose against him. Then with Djokovic and Federer, he had breakup in the 5th.
Yeah.
And 40-30 or 30-50. I don't remember well. It was a ball very close, goes up. But this is what happened. There was in Roland Garros 2009. Of course, he I am sure that he won. He won this tournament when he has no problems in his knee, because at this moment he was the best. He won Australian Open, then he won the tournaments on clay, and he arrived with problems in Roland Garros. For this reason, in my opinion, he loses. But there are others time that maybe he has to lose and he won.
Back, 30 love here, Djokovic leads. Forehand winner, meaning 40 love, 3 game points to force a second set tiebreak. And it is indeed Djokovic holding serve, so we do go into a tiebreak. 6-2, 6-all. We go into the tiebreak. I know it's not official, but remember once again, Nadal has not won a set on a hard court against Novak Djokovic since 2013. This won't count towards that tally, but it's something to bear in mind. Nadal serves to the net, second serve. Would have been keen to get that first serve in for sure to help him get on the board at the beginning of this tiebreak. To the backhand of Novak, backhand Rafa, forehand Novak. Pretty much at neutral now in this rally. But it's Novak who goes long with the backhand. 1-love. Remember that record that Djokovic had of, I think it was, I don't know how many tiebreaks it was last year that he won in a row without even one single unforced error. I think it was the first one after a series of tiebreaks came actually in that tiebreak at Wimbledon against Alcaraz in 2023. Anyway, love one, Djokovic to serve. Gets that first serve and it's an ace. Despite being broken a couple of times in this set, there have been some very impressive service games from Novak. He's had a match point, remember, at 40-30, at 5-4. That came and went. 1-all. Djokovic to serve. Goes out wide. That one's a fault this time. So second serve. Backhand return, clips the net from Rafa and goes out. He's grimacing a little bit there because he knows that that backhand was almost a perfect return. But almost perfect. It's not perfect. And therefore, it's 2-1 to Novak Djokovic. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit subscribe. 1-2. Nadal, backhand return there from Novak. His return game hasn't been, for a player who's arguably the best returner of all time. I think Agassi obviously comes into that conversation as well. He's not had the best of return days today, I would say. Arguments against that would be that he has broken Nadal serve 4 times. I think it was in other aspects of the game that he managed to do so, including perhaps some weaknesses from Rafa. 2-all, second serve. Backhand return there. Forehand to the backhand of Rafa. Now it's onto the backhand of Novak, who's on the stretch. Oh, lovely forehand there from Rafa, but it's on the slice there of Djokovic, who's got good depth on that slice. Oh, what a backhand winner that is from Rafa Nadal. Chose to play that one a little bit more aggressively and reaped the reward, 3-2. He has played quite aggressively today at times. I know Gil Gross is of the opinion that the latter stages of Rafa's career, he has played a lot more aggressively. Makes sense. Shorten the points where you can. Just taking a step to the right there, Rafa. Maybe he's anticipating where this serve is going to go. And it went down the tee. It's an ace from Novak. Another ace from Novak Djokovic. 3-all at the change of ends. We had an early advantage for Rafa, 1-love, then it was 2-1 and 3-2 and now 3-all. So 3-all at the change of ends in this tiebreak. Did I tell you that Rafa hasn't won a set on a hard court since 2013 against Novak? Have I told you that already? Have I told you that actually today doesn't count though in terms of the official stats? But as I say, I'm going to repeat it. I think the chances of Rafa playing a singles match at the Davis Cup have gone up, I would say, in the last hour or so. Okay, 3 points all here. Djokovic to serve. That was an attack. Despite it being a first serve, Djokovic took a lot of pace off that, and I think Rafa would have gone big on the forehand return had it landed without touching the net. Anyway, first serve still 3-all. Oh, lovely. Again, Rafa not reading that serve at all. And it's another ace off the racket of Novak Djokovic. This is an area of Novak's game that has not only improved, but has possibly been one of the differences between these two players, particularly on quicker courts. Rafa's serve has certainly improved throughout his career as well, but not quite to the same extent as Novak's. So 3-4, Rafa to serve. Good depth on that serve. Rafa on the forehand now. Goes pretty big, but the defense there from Novak is not quite good enough. I was about to say good defense from Djokovic, but his forehand goes long, and it's 4-all. Extremely nip and tuck this tiebreak. So Nadal to serve. Comes in for a serve volley, but that volley's nowhere near good enough from Rafa Nadal. It was a horrible volley that Djokovic punished. So now it's Djokovic with the mini break advantage. If he holds his serve on these 2 points, he will win the set and he will win the match. 5-4 Novak Djokovic. Okay, Djokovic to serve. Where are you going with this one? You are going down the tee. Good serve there. Rafa gets his racket on it, but Djokovic is in charge of this point. But he goes long with the forehand. The Djokovic forehand really, inability to put that away was probably just as ugly as Nadal's volley in the previous point. 5-all, back on serve. Every time we just think that Djokovic has got the advantage, is going to win this match, Nadal reels him back in. 5-all. Oh, wonderful serve there. Great spot serving. And Djokovic brings up his second match point. He was serving for the match at 5-4, had 40-30. Didn't put Nadal away then, but he's going to have another chance to do so again, albeit on the Nadal serve. 5-6 in the tiebreak. Nadal to serve here, 5-6. Let first service. Nadal serving. To the forehand of Novak. Decent return. Backhand from Rafa. Forehand from Novak. Backhand Rafa. Backhand to backhand right now. I think this rally's looking pretty good for Novak. Forehand now. Good depth there from Rafa, though. Rafa goes down the middle of the court. Probably shouldn't have done that. And Rafa puts his forehand into the net. And it is game, set, match. Novak Djokovic. 6-2, 7-6. Rafa smiles. As you can imagine, the exchange at the net is very warm. So Djokovic gets the job done. Whether this fills him with much confidence going into the latter stages of the year, I'm not so sure. I almost feel as though it's a mini win for Rafa. Djokovic points his finger towards Rafa there to say, look, this is the guy, the biggest rival of my career. And this is the guy we should be applauding and waving goodbye to. Rafa gives the crowd a wave. But as I say, some consolation I would suggest for Nadal is that I think this possibly should give him a bit more confidence going into the Davis Cup and also the potential of playing a singles match against Botic van der Zandschulp of the Netherlands in the quarterfinal that they will have. Show your appreciation for Rafa Nadal. I'm sure we'll get a few words, maybe from both players. Maybe we'll stay live to get those words. It's going to be a special tribute for Rafa. Of course, the head-to-head doesn't change from that exhibition match. 31-29 it remains and will remain as Rafa brings his career to a close. They can't, of course, play each other they can't play each other, of course, at the Davis Cup because Serbia didn't make the final 8. A little bit of a reprisal of the match. An early break from Novak at the beginning of the match meant he had an early advantage. He then sealed it with a second break of serve, meaning he won the first set 6-2. At that stage, the Rafa backhand in particular was looking vulnerable, particularly on the return. Occasional slices from Rafa when perhaps the Rafa of old would have hit double-handed backhands, or even perhaps a few run-around forehands that he didn't take advantage of. And it was looking very comfortable for Novak when he took an early break advantage in the second set as he was leading 1 set and a break. But Rafa immediately broke back. Then we had Djokovic then, of course, on serve. But then Djokovic gets a crucial break at 4-all. Nadal did have some break points in the previous game, couldn't take advantage of those 3 break points, and it was actually Djokovic who then got the break and was then serving for the match, had a match point at 40-30, but some Rafa forehands of old came thundering down the court. Rafa broke back for 5-all. They go into the tiebreak, which was nip and tuck, but ultimately Djokovic did get over the line on his second match point, winning the match by 6 games to 2, 7-6. Some good serving at times from Djokovic, but I would say his overall game was a little bit off today, but Rafa wasn't quite ready to punish it. Okay, so Djokovic is about to speak.
But also a recognition of where we are and what this event has meant to you. Congratulations on your play. Thank you.
Flexing his linguistic muscles.
First, I want to thank His Excellency and the entire SELA team for organizing this incredible event. Congratulations, it was an amazing experience. Thank you for inviting us quite often now. It's been less than a year. I've been twice here in Riyadh playing tennis in front of one of the most passionate crowds. Really amazing crowd. Thank you all so much for coming every single match in big numbers and really showing your appreciation, respect, and support for this sport, for all the players. Thank you so much. It's been amazing. Now to Rafa. I don't know where to start. I'll go back to the very first match that we played against each other back in 2005, I think it was. And, you know, who would know that we are standing here almost 20 years later with more than 60 times that we face each other on the biggest stage in this sport. I have the utmost respect for you. Incredible athlete, incredible person. You know, the rivalry has been incredible, really. It has been very intense. So I hope that we'll have a chance to maybe sit on the beach somewhere and have a little drink, reflecting on life, talking about something else, you know. And I would like to congratulate all your team and all your family on an amazing career that Rafa had. It's also your success. I know how much sacrifice a family has to put into the career and the life of a professional tennis player. I can only imagine the highs and lows that you were going through with him. So you deserve this success as much as he does. So congratulations. Amazing career. it's difficult. I could speak all night, but I don't want to take away too much time. I think Rafa should speak instead of me. But once again, it's been an incredible honor, as I told you at the net. Incredible pleasure to share the court with you. And you know, it's quite an emotional moment. You know, emotional day. You know, we've been playing so many matches over so many years, and don't leave tennis, man. Stay a little bit more. Stay with us. Yeah, I will finish with one big thank you from not just me, but all of the tennis world for what you have done. You left incredible legacy, and Mark, and we really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, as you'll be aware, Mr. Nadal has full time on his incredible career. He still has a Davis Cup final.
So yeah, of course, the Davis Cup final is still to come for Rafa Nadal. Not quite the end of the road yet, but it's very, very soon. But I do think that today's performance result should give him a little bit of confidence going into the final 8 in Malaga. And yes, tough decision for him. And of course, David Ferrer, the team captain, to make in terms of the singles. I think ultimately it'll be Rafa who decides, because I think David Ferrer is very keen for Rafa to play the singles match against the Netherlands and Botic van der Zandschulp. And perhaps this performance will encourage Rafa to do just that. We'll see. We'll have a few words from Rafa before we bring this show to a close. But in the meantime, do make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. We have a look back on some of Rafa's career here. It's his 22 Grand Slams. We're seeing some big moments.
To see him playing, you know, what is probably one of his last events.
14 French Open titles, of course. A further 8 Grand Slams across the other 3 events, sorry. 2 Wimbledons, of course. 4 US Opens, 2 Australian Opens. Some kind words there from Yannick. In 92 ATP Tour titles as well. Holger Rune there.
Rafa, I just wanted to say thank you for everything you have done for the sport. I really wanted to say thank you for the 5 years you have done to me, to my career, to my life. You inspire me a lot. I want to thank you and wish you all the best in the new term.
Nadal there with the Wimbledon trophy. He has 2 of those in his trophy cabinet in Manacor. But let's maybe hear from Rafa himself, hopefully, very soon.
Such an important figure for all of us as we enjoy the sport and culture around Riyadh and wider Saudi Arabia.
Well, when Rafa speaks, we will get to hear from him. There'll be a few more Rafa shows on the channel in the coming weeks for sure. I've got one in particular planned, hopefully next week, which will be on the show, looking back on some big moments in Rafa's career. And we'll be covering him, of course, in his bow out from the sport in Malaga in a few weeks. A couple of weeks, well, a bit more, 3 or 4 weeks. He's being presented with a golden racket right now. course, two of the big three members. The other one, Roger Federer, retiring a couple of years ago.
Thank you very much indeed for that.
Are we now going to finally get to hear from Rafa himself?
And Rafa, if I could ask you to come over and say a few words now.
So let's listen to the man himself.
Don't lose it. I'm sure not as well. A few words as you approach this stage in your career. It is not retirement, and we should state that, because you still have the small matter of the Davis Cup final still to go, but you've made the decision that you won't be playing tennis into next year and as a professional. What will you miss the most?
Well, I have to start being, thank you very much everyone here. Have been an amazing few days. Thank you to His Excellency and all the people who put together a great effort organizing this great event, bringing fantastic players, and yeah, as Novak said, one of the most passionate crowds that we have played. So thank you very much for everything. Well, I want to just say a few words to Novak and his team. Thank you very much for everything, for what you said today, and for all the moments that we shared on court during all our careers. Now, having an amazing rivalry. I think in a personal way, I had to say that you helped me to go over my limits during almost 15 years. So yeah, thank you for that, because without that, probably I will not be the player that I am today. Thank you. And congratulations for all the titles and amazing career to you, to your team, and wish all the very best of luck for the future. And answering your question, what I'm gonna miss the most is probably almost everything. Having a dream come true, be able to play for almost 20 years of career, being competitive, and having the chance to play in the best places in the world, best tournaments, best stadiums, something that I watched on TV when I was a kid. So at the end, I realized my dream to become a professional tennis player and be a successful one. And I really can't thank enough the support and the love that I received all around. Having an amazing energy in every single tournament that I was able to play during all these years. Huge support, of course, from my team, from my family, but at the same time, from all the tennis world. Having a huge pleasure to be around. I feel very fortunate, guy, to be a tennis player. We have a great tour and a lot of great people running the sport. So I feel very fortunate, and I want to thank you, everyone.
So, Rafa, more time at the academy, more time with business interests around the world. It's a very, very exciting time. What comes next for you? More time with well, he's not a baby anymore, with baby Rafa. He thought you were great tonight, by the way. We all did. He thought you were fantastic. But he thought the little spider he was watching was even better. So from all of us who have watched you in all these years, I'm sure you know what you've given us. You've thrilled us. You've been the one out here sacrificing your body and your mind and enjoying yourself, I hope, as well. But it has been a singular pleasure for all of us to watch your career, and most importantly, if I may say so, the way you've handled yourself, be we just in the media or the public or your opponents. Thank you very much. Rafa Nadal, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. So, chants of Rafa from the crowd. Okay, so that brings today's show to an end. Thank you very much for joining, and I'm sure we'll catch up again very soon. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.